On today's episode of Poland Daily Culture, we're providing some insight into a foreigner's perspective on living in Poland. We'll be exploring their experiences and how they absorb certain aspects of the culture.
I'm joined by Jesse here. Jesse, welcome to Poland Daily Culture.
Thank you for having me, John.
Absolute pleasure to have you here. So, first of all, could you tell us how it is that an American came to be in Poland?
Sure. So I've been in Poland for about 4 years now. Originally came in as a tourist, just wanted to explore more about the country. 4 years later, I also have a son here now. He resides in Sopot in Telewizja, so I'm a proud father of a dual American-Polish national.
Excellent. Okay. And so could you tell us perhaps if you're sort of going in between Telewizja and Warsaw, what's the kind of difference between those two cities?
Yeah, I would say being on the coast in Telewizja, you're going to have access to perhaps a little bit more sport activities than you would in Warsaw. So you have the sea, you can take advantage of sailing, windsurfing, kitesurfing, etc. You've also had some really tremendous forests immediately outside of Gdynia and Sopot. In Warsaw, I'd say it's much more of a business center, the center of government and power, and a center for arts and entertainment. So I think the dichotomy between both geographies is one where the north gets a little bit more sport activities and perhaps a slightly better balance of life, whereas the Warsaw is a hustle and bustle kind of city.
Mm-hmm. And how do you contrast Poland with the States? I know it's a little bit difficult to sort of broad big countries, but in terms of sort of the society and culture, broadly speaking.
Yeah, I think the biggest difference when you come to the United States, Americans are known as people that always have a big smile on their face. Maybe no particular reason, but they've got a big smile on their face. Yeah. And the stereotype when you go to Eastern Europe or to Poland is that people are not smiling so often. There's different cultural reasons for that, but what I've identified is that both societies seem to have very dynamic and hungry people, in the sense that they're hungry to learn, to improve themselves, to experience the world, and to share with the world what their culture is about. So that's something that's quite similar between the United States and Poland. The difference is that Poland, I think, the mentality for many decades has been that Poles kind of look towards the outside for better opportunities, be that employment or whatnot. And what I've noticed is that little by little that mentality is changing, and I think that's a healthy kind of change. Poles are realizing that they've built a really fantastic society for themselves here. There aren't necessarily compelling reasons to go out of their country because there's really great opportunity here, both professionally and in terms of quality of life.
Hello and welcome again to Poland Daily Culture. Today I'm hosting Nolan McLean, who will talk to me about his life in Poland. Hello Nolan and welcome to Poland Daily Culture.
Thanks for having me.
So let's begin with a question about what is your story? Why are you here in Poland?
Yeah, it's a good question. I came here by accident a little bit. I was teaching English to young children in Seoul, South Korea for 3 years, about 10 years ago. And I was on my way back to California to continue pursuing my business career. And a friend of mine, American, started dating a Polish woman. And so she wanted to come back here, go to Koźmiński, get her master's. So he followed her. I kind of just followed them.
And you followed him.
Exactly. I followed them. And I didn't know what to expect. But I came here for 1 year because I was mostly excited to be a part of the European Championships in the summer of 2012.
So you came here without knowing anything about the country. You just planned to move here for 1 year.
Exactly. But they helped me organize a job and an apartment, and I was most excited to be here for that specific football event, and then planning on moving back to California after that. But then life just kind of evolved from there. New business opportunities came. I developed more friendships. And I've just enjoyed my life ever since for the past 7 years here.
And what was your first job here in Poland?
I was teaching English in the Academy of New York. It's kind of a American, kind of a native English teaching school. and that gave me access to meet all kinds of adults that really wanted to further their careers. And it really opened my eyes to what Poland was about, because most people come from not Warsaw, but smaller towns. So they were, I'm supposed to be teaching them, but actually they were teaching me kind of about the country.
And so being here for a year, you already knew that you're going to stay forever, or stay at least for a longer period of time?
No, I had my flight booked to go back to California. But then, you know, there was a bit of a recession going on back home, and I just felt, I didn't know, it's hard to put words to it or a feeling to it, but you kind of just know that something could possibly be happening very nicely in Poland. I feel like the country was getting better every year, or at least the 1 year that I was there. But I also had witness of other American friends that were here 5, 10, 15 years. So you kind of get the feeling that this country is getting on the map. And I wanted to be a part of that kind of movement.
Yeah. I think that it's kind of addictive to foreigners, from what I'm hearing from my friends and other people, that Warsaw kind of drowns you in, or maybe other cities as well, I don't know, but we're here in Warsaw now.
That's a good word, addictive. It can be. The energy can be addictive.
Yeah.
Again, it's based upon what you want to do here and the people that you associate yourself with, because there's a lot of very intelligent entrepreneurs here that are really, I think, shaping what Poland will become in the next 5, 10, 20 years. And I've tried, and that's actually thankful to, because of English, you immediately have access to people that, if they learn English, then they want to do business and travel to other parts of Europe or around the world. And, you know, these are kind of my people. And so being closely connected with them, and when you teach, you have a chance to get to know somebody quite intimately. And so because of this, you know, friendship and bond that we make, we have a chance to just connect on much more levels than just a language, but also business opportunities, traveling opportunities. So I have a lot of friends from Poland that have actually come back to America with me to meet my friends and my family. And we travel together throughout Europe as well.
And do you call Warsaw your hometown?
My hometown, no. I was born in San Francisco, so that will never change where I was born. But my home, yes, this is where I consider home. So I'm always a little bit sad when the plane takes off from Okęcie. But as soon as I get back, I feel like I'm back with my home.
Yeah. And how did your family and friends react when you told them that you're moving to Poland all of a sudden, somewhere that is very far from the US?
Yeah, a lot of them needed to look up on Google.
Well.
You know, okay, where is Poland? Where's Warsaw?
Yeah.
You know, what's going on? They wanted to make sure it was safe. Because, you know, I know Poland has a lot of roots in New York and Chicago and Florida. But coming from San Francisco, we don't have a lot of Polish roots. So my family and friends didn't have any kind of association with Poland outside of maybe some of the food and so on. So they were a little bit maybe curious and hesitant at the beginning. But then, you know, you start watching YouTube, you can do some, you know, you gather your information, and they quickly understood why I wanted to stay here.
And what do you think are the main differences between the US and Poland? I know that there's a lot of them, but there are also some similarities, I think.
No, you're definitely right. There's a lot of differences, a lot of similarities. Again, I was living in Korea just before I came here, and there's drastic differences in terms of how we look, how we eat. Yeah. So when I came here, I actually felt it at home because finally I'm not the tallest man in the room, or you have some bald guys, or you eat cheese. So, you know, Poland has fantastic cheese and bread. And when I was living in Asia, you know, I missed this very much. Or, for example, maybe it sounds kind of funny, but I remember my first morning waking up. The plane landed in the evening. But when I woke up the next morning, I had an apartment on Żelazna. And coming from Asia, there's a lot of smog. And when I woke up in this apartment and the curtains were open, I remember how blue the sky was. It was so clear and so natural. It wasn't congested by big factories and pollution. And I really felt like, okay, wow, this is going to be nice. It's going to be fresh air again. And it was off to a good start.